She stifled a yawn. I'm getting tired of dances every night, though I can't begrudge everyone's revelry. The union was preserved, but the price had been so high. Scarcely a family in the county had been spared the loss of a loved one. Her father coughed and tugged the blanket higher on his chest. I'm glad you're beginning to enjoy life again. Rand wouldn't want you to grieve. No, he wouldn't. But what no one seemed to understand was that her fiancé's death in the war had left a hole that couldn't be filled, not ever. His cold hand clamped down on her wrist. I need to see you settled before I die, Sara. She flinched. Don't talk like that, Papa. She couldn't bear to lose him, not when she'd already lost so much. He rubbed his forehead. You heard the doctor as plainly as I did last week. This old ticker isn't going to hold out much longer. I want you to marry Ben Croftner. He'll be a good husband to you. Sara wanted to bolt from the porch, to hide herself in the dusty golden stalks and forget her father's request. Ben isn't Rand. I don't think I can do it. Rand is never coming back, honey. Do you want to live here in this house with Wade the rest of your life? She looked down at the bowl of corn in her hands. No. Her older brother thought he always knew best, and the two of them had never gotten along. What about Joel? She'd raised her 8-year-old brother from infancy when their mother died in childbirth. Any future she might plan had to include Joel. He should go with you. Wade is too hard on him, and he wouldn't do well without you. Her father coughed away a wheeze. She couldn't believe she was actually thinking about it, but what other choice did she have? She liked Ben well enough. He had a nice home along the Wabash River, and he was always kind to Joel. I'll think about it, she said, as Ben's carriage came into view. Ben swung Sara around the dance floor past hay bales, bridles, and plows. The fiddle and the melody lifted her spirits, dampened by so much death and heartache. Women in hoop skirts and men in top hats had thrown off the heartache of the war between the states tonight as they dipped and swayed on the barn floor. The food shortages had eased some, and the aroma of apple pie, a scarcity with the lack of sugar, wafted through the space. Ben was such a fine dancer, strong and graceful in a way that made her feel she could float across the floor in his arms. He grinned down at her, sensing perhaps that she was beginning to enjoy herself just a little, for once. Ben tightened his grip around her waist possessively. Come outside a minute, would you, Sara? I want to talk to you. His smile was warm, but his firm voice brooked no objection. She let him lead her toward the big sliding door of the barn, beyond wooden tables piled high with pumpkin rolls and pies of every imaginable flavor, past the seated older women who watched their exit with wistful smiles. As Ben led her into the cool of the evening, Sara's weariness gave way to a rising dread. After her father's request before the dance, she suspected Ben had already mentioned his intentions to her family. She wasn't ready. Her steps faltered as she hung back. Wait, Ben, let me get my shawl. Her hands shaking, she took her blue shawl from a peg on the wall and wrapped it around her shoulders. Come on, Sara. His face purposeful and his voice impatient, Ben tugged on her arm and drew her outside. The full moon shone down on them, but the most light came from the lantern strung around the graying barn and through the muddy yard. The lights dipped and swayed like fireflies in the light breeze. The air was moist and tangy, a mixture of ripening grain and the smoke from a bonfire in the adjoining field. The October night had a slight chill, and Sara pulled her shawl more closely about her shoulders. Ben pulled Sara down onto a bench, away from several other couples watching the